Big banks are rigging the system? Looks like you were right. Four of the world's biggest banks, J.P. Morgan Chase, Citigroup, Barclays, and Royal Bank of Scotland, will pay $6 billion in fines and have pleaded guilty already to manipulating global currency markets as far back as 2007. A fifth bank, Switzerland-based UBS, has pleaded guilty to fixing key interest rates. With minutes from the Fed's latest policy meeting showing it's unlikely the bank will hike benchmark rates at its meeting in June, stocks turned around some early losses, and right now they're higher. The Dow up 9 points, on track for another record high close. The Nasdaq is up 18. U.S. stockpiles of crude declining last week. Haven't seen that in a while, by nearly 3 million barrels. So oil closed about $1 a barrel higher, still under $59 though. That is sending energy company stocks higher, but all the major airlines sharply lower this afternoon. I'm Tom Busby, CNBC.
Have you had trouble with online dating? This is eHarmony founder Dr. Neil Clark Warren. We've created a new solution, EH Plus. EH Plus combines the personal attention of a matchmaker with eHarmony's extensive pool of great singles. EH Plus gives you hand-selected matches and freedom from being online. Get started today. Call 855-930-LOVE. That's 855-930-LOVE.
With kcaa, paperless e-signing is a no-brainer for any business that requires legally binding signatures fast. That's because kcaa offers everything you should expect from an electronic signature solution for just $1 per month. kcaa cuts document turnaround time as much as 90%, thanks in part to its #1 rated mobile app. And kcaa's secure cloud stores documents for on-demand tracking and retrieval, saving you even more time and money. Don't think twice. Get kcaa now for just $1 per month. Go to kcaa.com.
It's Mike Manahan, host of Biz Rap Radio, the show all about small business and entrepreneurs. Join me every Friday at 3 p.m. right here on KCAA Radio.
KCAA 10:50 a.m. weather looks like this. Variable high clouds through Friday with a chance of showers by Friday. Today's high 74, overnight dropping down to about 55. Right now we are at 72 degrees in San Bernardino. Looking at your drive in Rubidoux on the 60 eastbound, there's a little bit of slow and go between Rubidoux Boulevard and Market Street. And also in Corona, you've got some stop and go on the 91 eastbound between Green River Drive and Highway 71. And that is the very latest with weather and traffic on the station that leaves no listener behind, KCAA 1050 AM.
Don't miss the fun on Getaway Friday starting at 2 p.m. with the Poor Man. Next, it's Let's Go Shopping with Bev, Jason Stapleton, The Happy Hour with Ben and Alexander, and Langdon Nation. KCAA 1050 AM, where Fridays are great days. KCAA proudly presents The Poor Man Show.
You were in rehab. I heard that you were in rehab.
Is this like an old radio rating trick or something?
If it is, it's not working.
It's time for
Radio Hidden Back. Is there anybody in the Inland Empire who can call our show that's actually in the Inland Empire, where we broadcast to? Okay, we got somebody else. Hold on here. Let's get somebody else on here. Hello? I think you need to get a little angry or frustrated like you did before.
We've been off since about 1.
Why didn't you tell me this?
Because I didn't want you getting upset. I wanted you to continue with your lovely show.
What? It smells like an outhouse in here.
Yeah, I imagine so.
And if I can't run
this is our radio station,
right
and
way,
you will run it like a professional.
I can't hear anything in the room, by the way, because I can't hear you guys. I honestly can't. Do you have regular bowel movements?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I'm telling you right now what's going to happen.
You really never know what's going to happen. Here's the Poor Man.
Okay, good afternoon. Today I am broadcasting from my little pad in Newport Beach, California, from my bed, as usual. How sexy, right, Di?
Absolutely.
And wearing my pink headphones. Hopefully the Ustream is back up again today. anyhow, today's show is going to be a little bit on the brutal side, I got to tell you people, which is kind of coincidentally interesting because I guess the big topic of today is this is David Letterman's last night on the late night show on CBS. It culminates more than 30 years of doing late night television, and tonight's his final show. I saw some of last night's show. He had Bill Murray on. Bill Murray pops out of a cake with several hotties, several hot babes, ends up drinking vodka, some Slovenian vodka with Dave on the set, and then he did something that Dave Letterman used to do when we all loved Dave Letterman. And Di, I would even suspect you, Miss Pop Culture herself, had maybe watched Dave Letterman at one time in your life, right?
Yes, of course.
And remember when he used to do just the craziest stuff? Like I remember he took his audience out of the building, out of his studio, and took them 2 floors down and bought them all food at the cafeteria. That's my best memory of Dave Letterman. What about yours?
I can't say that I have one.
Okay.
I really
You're
can't.
always helpful with pop culture.
Well, okay, Dave Letterman, to me, he's not, see, we're coming from different perspectives.
We aren't. We're coming from the same perspective.
Well, I thought he was not so funny when he came on the air. He was an acquired taste for me. And
okay, well that's honest, and I don't blame you. So you never really liked him that much.
I mean, I do like him. I like him now more than I ever did before. But see, you're at the opposite end of that because you got turned off by, what was it? Some speech he made? Was it Academy Awards? Where was it?
He was the host of the Academy Awards. But last night when Bill Murray was on, he did something that Letterman would have done that he doesn't do anymore. He actually pops out of the cake, sits down, gets drunk with vodka. But the great thing he did is at the end of his session on the couch, and he was the very first guest I guess Letterman ever had on his late night show back in 1980. So he gets up and he walks out of the Ed Sullivan Theater into the streets of New York. And I've been by that theater. In fact, if you look on my Facebook page, there's a shot that I took of the Ed Sullivan Theater. And he's on the streets, and there's tons of people outside the theater who can't get in to see Dave's second to last show. And he says, "Dave, we really want you to stay." And he starts singing with the crowd, covered in cake, because he had popped out of a cake. And so that's what Murray did. But that's the kind of thing Letterman did when I thought Letterman was great. But it's interesting because earlier today, I had a big altercation with Mr. Announcer Pat Matthews because I was doing something up in LA and I didn't know if I would be back in time to do the show live. And so Pat goes, "Well, I'll do the show." And I said, "No, you won't do the show." And then it got very heated because I go, "Pat, you're a great guy. You're a great talent. But if you think I'm going to let you do this show and you go on there and let's say the owner, Fred Lundgren, decides you're great and then I get replaced," I said, "I'm not going to take that chance anymore because I've already been screwed over with Loveline and with Dr. Drew, and I'm tortured by it every single day of my life." Yes, Letterman, how's he going to feel when he loses his gig? I'll tell you exactly what he's going to say here is exactly what I feel every single day. And then we're going to get more into what happened with me and also how Letterman got screwed over. So do you have that sound where he's talking to
I'm assuming this is Letterman opens up about Late Show ending, correct?
Right. This is how he says he's going to feel after tonight when his entire late night career comes to an end. This is how I feel every day. Go ahead, run that.
All right. Okay, let's see. Really? Okay.
Yeah, really.
Well.
Okay.
Well, I could not.
Take a break and then get somebody in there and we'll see if we can run it. Go ahead, just take a commercial break and we'll kill this.
Hey man, my new favorite band Stavros has a new CD out called Ordinary World featuring the single 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Where can she be? And get tripping with its wickedly great song Mailbox. Stavros with their new CD, Ordinary World, at iTunes and Amazon. Get it, man.
So you got your taxes done and filed on time, or maybe not. Now is not the time to panic, though. I've got the solution, and they're right here in the Southland. Wynn Coop & Associates been in the business of serving OC and IE accounting and bookkeeping needs for more than 30 years. Whether you're a small or large business or an individual who needs info and help with trust management, accounting, and tax returns, Wynn Coop & Associates can help. Oh, and the initial evaluation is free. Call 949-851-1632. That's 949-851-1632. Or go to wincoopcpa.com. That's WYNKOOP CPA.com. Hey everybody, Pat Matthews here. When I'm not doing the production of the new Poor Man Show here on KCAA 1050 AM, I'm programming my internet radio station, Beatles-orama. It's been my pleasure to keep the spirit of the Beatles alive for the past 13 plus years, hosting my morning show Monday through Friday and running the greatest tribute station on the web. So, if you've never heard us, go to Beatlesorama.com and click on the Player Start button. And if you're already a listener, all of us here at Beatles-orama, thank you.
I'm Scott Schwartz, and with me, my clients always come first. If you've been injured on the job, I can help. The Schwartz family has been representing injured workers throughout the state of California for more than 50 years. We do it with integrity, and that has earned us an excellent reputation among peers, adversaries, and our clients. Call me at 800-550-1836 for a free consultation. The insurance company doesn't have your best interest in mind. I do, and you don't pay unless we win. Call now so we can get started on your workers' comp claim. 800-550-1836. You don't pay unless we win.
The bumper music you're listening to is brought to you by Stavros. Go to their website, rosielyn.com. That's ROSIELYNN.com.
This show would not be possible without our great sponsors. I praise every one of you because everybody involved in this show, with the exception of Trevor the Drunk, does not sell one single ad for our show. Behind the scenes, what it's really all about is getting gritty and convincing people that you got a show that can have legs, that can go into 100 markets. And that's what we do. Are we going to run the bumper forever? But that's Stavros, by the way. It's great. Okay, so where I left you is David Letterman is going to talk about how he's going to feel after his last show tonight. And basically, when I listen to this, it's sort of what I've felt every day for the last 20 years. And are you able to run that yet, Di, or not?
I can only try. I can't.
Okay.
Yeah, let's try it.
You've got to get out of what you call your little outfit and into your civilian
yes,
clothes.
That's right.
And say goodbye to a lot of old friends. And
yes, my family will be here. Many people have been with me for 33 years, 35 years, going back to the morning show. And we'll go and we'll have a little party. And then the dark cloud of never-ending depression will set in.
How much are you looking forward to that party?
I'm not looking forward to it at all. I don't want to go to a party. I recognize that it's good for, cathartic perhaps, for all of us to be together, because it's not been easy on anybody who's been here any length of time for this to end. So I recognize the symbolic importance of it, but holy crap. A shrimp puff? Yes. Care for a shrimp puff? I don't want a shrimp puff.
See, now that was funny. Poor man.
Yeah, but you know what he says, though, is so true, because, it's, unless you've been through it yourself, you can't even imagine. It's not the money, it's not the fame, it's the high of doing a show and being able to entertain a crowd. And that's really what it's all about. Anybody I really want people to comment on what I'm going to talk about here real soon. You can
Lyle
text me.
is on the line if we want to go to
Who's
him.
on the line?
Lyle from Brea.
Let's throw him on. And also I invite Pat Matthews to call in so we can openly discuss this on the air about what I got upset about. But yeah, we'll throw Lyle on. But the thing is that if you've, like with me with doing Loveline, people say, get over it. Move on. You don't ever move on. How can you? That's the problem. And Dave is going to walk into the sunset. Tonight, everybody's going to be kissing his butt, licking his proverbial, sack. And then after that, it's done. He's going to be in Montana. It doesn't matter where he is. He's never going to be on that stage again. And I don't care what was said. He's 68 years old, and they're basically booting him out. He's an old guy, and they're bringing in, who I'm not even excited about, Colbert. But, let's put Lyle on, and then I will continue this. We're talking about David Letterman's last night tonight. Hi, Lyle. What are you doing?
Yeah, right now I'm been listening to your show. I didn't realize you were talking about David Letterman until I first called in and I could hear you talking and everything. But tonight is his last show?
Tonight is his last night, yeah.
You know what? And I agree with you wholeheartedly. You know what? I don't like what they're doing to him from what I'm listening to everything you're saying. That man is a legend. I've liked him ever since his first telecast, I guess way back in 1982. I think my mom used to let me stay up late and watch him. And then when I got older, it really didn't matter, but I think he's awesome, and they're going to replace him with some kind of idiot that doesn't know what he's doing, or what?
Well, it's the
okay,
thing
first
is,
of all, Colbert is no idiot. I just have to say that.
I think Colbert sucks, quite honestly. Oh, by the way, I'm already getting some good texts today. Is the poor man bipolar? No, I'm obsessive compulsive. That's what I would say. But back to Letterman. Here's what I think doomed Letterman, Lyle, and you tell me if you agree, okay? This is why I will not put anybody on the air to do my show live ever again. It'll always be a taped show as long as I have a show, because I don't trust anybody, to be honest with you. Maybe that's my own hang-up, but Letterman, Lyle, are you still there?
Yes, sir, I am.
Okay. Anybody else who wants to call up, the phone number for the station is 888-909-1050 if you want to weigh in on this. It's all about betrayal. It's all about trust.
Pat is also on the line, by the way.
Who is?
Pat.
Okay, I'll talk to Pat here in a sec, but I'm just going to finish with Lyle. What Letterman used to do his late night show, remember before he his late night show.
Yeah, he used to come on at 12:30 on Channel 4.
Right, on NBC. He would have Jay Leno on all the time as a guest.
Right.
And he really pushed Jay Leno as a comedian. And then Johnny Carson was, I guess, secure enough where he would let people guest host his show. He let Joan Rivers do it. He let Jay Leno do it quite a few times. Anyway, here's Dave backing Jay Leno, helping him with his career. I was in a movie once with Jay Leno, and I think he was always talentless. That's my opinion. People are going, you're OCD. That's right. That's the mad texture. Your apartment should be cleaner. Absolutely. I've been showing my apartment on the
Ustream.
On the Ustream. But
anyway,
to make a long story short, is David Letterman was when Johnny Carson said he was retiring, and basically he was being forced out as being too old. Letterman was scheduled to take over his show. He was going to take over the Tonight Show. Do you remember that, Lyle?
Yes, I do.
Anyway, here's Leno being pumped by Letterman. Behind the scenes, he aced out Letterman, and he ended up getting the gig for the Tonight Show. And quite honestly, that was one thing that I think killed Letterman, because the Tonight Show is way bigger than a CBS show ever was. So he had that not going for him. He finally gets the CBS show, because CBS had never done a late night show. And then the other thing that doomed him was hosting the Academy Awards. I loved him hosting it, but everybody, he apparently he bombed, and nobody wanted him to host it again. And I
remember that he didn't. It wasn't. As they put it, it wasn't his finest hour, and they gave him a hard time. And they say that was like it really pushed him down. But I didn't have a problem with it. I thought he did great.
I did too. I loved it. But I think ever since that time, I think Letterman lost his edge. He absolutely, to me, and he even admits it, I guess. He thinks the last several years he's just dialed it in. He just showed up, he does an interview, and the difference, I'll tell you what, the difference between me and Letterman, I'm not saying I'm going to ever get anywhere again, but I don't care how old I get, I am going to run through a wall to try to get back to where I was and better. Because that's why I run 12 miles a day. That's why I'm obsessive compulsive. Anybody who thinks I don't have an edge, oh yeah, I do. I've always.
Wait. You run 12 miles a day?
Yes.
Do you really? No, you're talking about getting back to where you want to be. for the last 5 months, I've been jogging, about 3.5 miles a day, I'll be honest with you. But I've lost 25 pounds.
Good for you. Running is great. For anybody
It is.
who to deal with stress, run. It's the best stress reliever
Poor
there
man,
is.
maybe you should be running 26 miles a day.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's, I got to deal with you every day.
True story.
But you got to deal with me too. So what can I
Yes.
say? But anyway, I think Letterman got screwed by Leno, and the way I look at it, I got screwed by Dr. Drew, who took over my show. And by the way, I want to ruin his career. I don't want to hurt him. I don't want to physically harm him or anything like that. I'm not threatening him, but I want to do anything I can. That's why this article is going to come out, hopefully in the Daily Mail real soon. And then we're supposed to be on Inside Edition. I want to do everything I can to ruin his career like he ruined mine. And anybody who says, oh, get over it and move on. Letterman will never get over Leno taking his gig for the Tonight Show. And what's going on now was inevitable, but I think those are the two things that really did it. And it's all about betrayal and trust. Everybody I work with, if somebody offered Pat Matthews, and Pat's on there, I'll talk to him in a minute. If Fred offered Pat this shift, Pat would take the shift. If somebody offered Di this shift, Di would take the shift. The only person that would have my back is Trevor Garner and Fred. Those are the two main people that I would trust. But Pat was absolutely wrong today, and I was, listen. And then he's comparing me to being like, what is it, like paranoid or something like that? No, I'm being smart.
Poor man, I have a similar instance, and it was at a radio station here in the Inland Empire, and a friend of mine came on board, and I told her pretty much, I said, this was before she came on board. I said, if you do, before my friend had come on board at this radio station where I was working, I said, if you do, you're going to take away my work because I get all the fill-in shifts.
And was she a good friend of yours?
She was a good friend of mine. Yes.
Right. Nobody's your friend.
But here's the thing. I was honestly bitter. I feel you. I know exactly where you're coming from. She took over, and she's not a better DJ than me.
You're a good broadcaster. You and I have our moments.
Thank you.
But you're great to work with.
Well, thank you. But
it's so true. Nobody's really your friend.
But here's the thing.
And I don't think it's just our business. I think it's any business. I really do. I think anybody is business-wise. If they throw money at you, you're going to screw over your best friend. I was Dr. Drew's best friend. I was in his wedding.
Yeah. See, but I can't do that. I cannot do that. I don't care how badly someone. And the thing is, this is what is so funny is I finally said, to heck with radio. She had come. I unfriended this friend of mine on Facebook, and she popped over my house and said, "Hey, what's wrong? I can't get a hold of you. You're not on Facebook. La 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 la." And I just told her. I said, "Pam, I'm pissed. I'm really pissed." And I told her why. And I have told her why before, but I never quite got over it. Finally, I decided, well, if she came over my house and was that concerned about me, she is a friend, but friends show their friendships in different ways. And what I know about myself is that on the air, I'm a lot better than she is. She's got a lot of talent. She's got a great personality. But when she flips on the mic, it's just liners, and she's fine with liners. So I got to thinking about that, and I was like, you know what? I don't need to be bitter anymore. I'm just over this, and that's when I finally decided that I was done with radio. Now, when I was finally done with it, that's when Mark came knocking on my door.
Right, and you're back with me.
Yeah.
And what's
and
funny
what a
for
blessing
me, the thing that
is.
makes it hard for me is the fact that Loveline's still on. And every day it's rubbed in my face.
Yeah.
The show that I created, that I was taken off of when I was number one. And that mofo, that piece of crap doctor, has run with it ever since. Every gig he gets is a result of Loveline. And it's in my face. That's why it's, oh yeah, get over it, move on. And this guy, it's a betrayal of his best friend. I introduced him to his wife and everything. But back to just that. That's why I don't think you should ever give anybody the opportunity to do your job. I'm sorry to say that. Maybe that's negative. I don't know. People tell me we're getting I'm getting texts.
Okay.
Call in like wild.
Can we take a break and
909-1050. Let's take a break. We'll be back with that. Todd's weighed in on that. Mike from Menifee is weighing in. Casey's weighing in. Everybody's weighing in on this. It all goes back to Letterman's last day. Kick the old geezer out of there and bring in Colbert. Oh, Colbert sucks.
No, he doesn't. He's awesome.
Yes, he does. He's horrible.
When I say Wave Tools, you think surfboards, right? But not just any surfboards. We're talking boards that just work better. Since Lance Collins polished off his first surfboard in 1969, Wave Tools has been cranking out the best boards money can buy for all of SoCal and beyond. Come check out what a real surf shop is all about. Real surfers hanging out any time of day at Wave Tools Surfboards. Customize that new board with a look that screams you. Wave Tools Surfboard in Costa Mesa. Go to wavetoolssurf.com or call 949-631-0887. The crew is ready to assist you. 949-631-0887. Have you ever wanted to bring the beauty of the ocean right into your home or office? Or already have an aquarium and just no time to clean it? Let Scuba Steve's Fish take care of that for you, specializing in new aquarium setups and maintenance. That's scubastevesfish.net, 714-600-2739. Check out the website at scubastevesfish.net. That's scubastevesfish.net. Get it? Fish.net? Serving Orange County and parts of the Inland Empire. There's nothing worse than a dirty aquarium. scubastevesfish.net. Negative items in your credit reports can keep you from financing a new home or a new car. They can even jeopardize you from getting that dream job you always wanted. At Easy Choice Financial, we don't think that's fair. And we're credit repair experts who specialize in permanently removing negative items off your reports so you can live the life you deserve. We're so good, we guarantee an improvement in your credit score in 6 months or you'll get a full refund. It's that easy. Call us today at 888-655-6768 or learn more at easychoicefinancial.com. Call 888-655-6768 for your free consultation. Easy Choice Financial is licensed and bonded and has been doing credit repair for over 18 years. All legal cases are different. Hiring the right lawyer can make all the difference in the outcome of your case, whether it's a DUI, divorce, or family law. The law firm of Hanson, Gorey, Bradford, and Hanich has the solution. From misdemeanor to felony offenses, Hanson, Gorey, Bradford, and Hanich have more than 50 years of collective legal experience to win for you. Call right now to schedule a free no-obligation case consultation today. 951-687-6003, 951-687-6003, or see for yourself at hgblawyers.com. Do it now. The bumper music you're listening to is courtesy of the alternative band Chase Atlantic. Go to their website, chaseatlantic.com.
This group was suggested by my 14-year-old niece. Nice job, Chase Atlantic. They don't get any airplay anywhere. All right, so we are back here. Lots of texts. Let's see, I can read a few of these. And then we got Pat Matthews on the line. This is not, see, the difference between me and a lot of people is when you go through, let's see here, the violin comment, I got to agree. And the violins continue to play in the background. That was, I don't know who sent that, but that's all right. Listen, whatever you want to say is fine with me. What happens to your... We're getting so many texts. So Pat's on the line right now. If you're just listening
to call
for the first minute, David Letterman obviously is doing his last night. You know, it's all being praised and everything. Tomorrow he'll be past news. They're kicking all of his staff out by Friday. I said it's a cruel business, show business. It's like any business. Eventually everybody's kicked out. And I have a distrust at this point to put anybody on to do my show live. So I'm opening this up to you people out there. Am I paranoid or am I being smart or any other thing you want to say? The phone number, 888-909-1050. You could text me. I will read some texts. So anyway, Pat's on the line right now. And after we talked, Pat, I thought about this. I talked to Trevor. Trevor goes, why don't you bring this up on the air? And then he brought up the part of Jay Leno screwing over Letterman to get the Tonight Show gig. So my producer, Pat Matthews, is on the air. By the way, Pat, you'll never lose your gig with me as producer. And I'll put you on the air. I just am not going to let anybody else do the live show. Huh?
I said unless he leaves, because...
Well, if he wants to leave, that's his prerogative. But I'm just saying I have this thing. And I think I have a reason to have.
All right,
Pat,
I'm sorry.
Pat, hi, welcome.
Hey, listen. First of all, I'm sitting here on hold, listening to you saying that the only person you trust in the world is Trevor, and then comparing me to Dr. Drew.
Right.
Every time the conversation comes up in my life about you and Loveline, I go to bat for you every single time, saying that Dr. Drew is a despicable person and that, who would betray their friends. I just want you to know that up until today, I considered you a friend. And the fact that you even implied that you can't trust me goes a long way in making me have self-doubt about how I feel.
Well, can you understand how I feel when you said, I'll do the show live?
That's not what I said, though, and you keep saying that, and I'm going to go on record right now in front of whoever's listening.
No,
to
please.
Tell them that I thought that you might be late for the show today, so I said, I'm available today, so if you want, I'll start the show for you until you get there. I didn't say I wanted to do your show completely. I mean, if it would have ended up happening like that, then okay, but it wasn't because I was trying to audition or anything.
Right,
I was just trying to be a friend.
Yeah.
But then you see, my point was, in being the friend and doing the show, that wasn't the issue I had. I am just thinking of the owner of the station, and Todd thinks, oh, why are you worried about KCAA? Because it's my only gig. All right, that's the reason. I worry about any gig that I have because it's so hard to get gigs. But my point was, it would have been fine if I was in complete control of my destiny, Pat. But let's say Fred, the owner of the station, was listening and he goes, you know what? Poor man has done too many tape shows. And that Pat Matthews sounds great. And wonder if he said to you, Pat, we're going to offer you Poor Man's Hour. What would you do then? That's the thing I'm concerned about. Not the fact that I don't trust you to do the show. It's the unknown variable. And this is where I think, I don't care what you say, but you can correct me, that if you were offered this gig by Fred with pay, you would take my hour.
Well, now you say with pay.
See, it just proved my point. Come on, man. I mean, and Casey's all bent out of shape. I mean, Casey said he would never do it. With pay, Casey, with pay. I'm not saying this will ever happen, but can you understand my paranoia? It happened to you.
Yeah, it did. It happened to me, but I got over it. I did.
Yeah, but it's not. Is she still doing that shift that she took?
She sure is. She sure is. And I've even gotten to the point where I can listen to her and I can listen to the station again. Because
what station is it? I'm going to have everybody here call and give her crap.
No, I don't. I'm not going to do that.
I'd do it.
No, I'm not going to do that. I mean, I wasn't happy with the bitterness that I was holding. It doesn't do you any good. Poor man, look at yourself. One day you're like all bright and everything's great, and the next day you're crapping on all your friends. I'm
not crapping on
yes,
them.
You are. You are. You crap on Pat and me and Casey. Yes, you do. You do.
Because all I'm saying is, if this is crapping on my friends, when it comes to business, I've seen it in the most hideous way that when it comes to money and paying for your family to live versus a friendship, your friendship is kicked out the window. By the way, another thing I was going to mention.
Well, let me just tell you something. You couldn't live on this if you wanted to. That's the thing.
But if you could,
Okay, we'll take the point.
That's Pat. Am I right or am I wrong?
Poor man. Listen, first of all, I wouldn't take it, okay, even if they offered me money. Now, you'd have to be out of your mind if you said, okay, Pat, I'm going to give you Poor Man's shift, 1 hour a day, and I'm going to pay you $1,000 a show. Then I'd have to think about it. But on the other hand, I'm on a fixed income where I can't make over a certain amount of money. Otherwise, I got to give the government 50% of it. So, there's a lot of things that come into play. But let me just say this. I, want to be a part of this machine, if you want to call it that because I think it's going to go on to bigger and better things, which is why, you and I have been talking and putting together, a show demo to branch out to other markets. And, and I want to, hey, let's just put it this way. I want to ride your gravy train.
Well, and I want you to, and you always will. Even though I say this, I don't fire people, and anybody who can tell me I fired them, oh man, I'm just getting hammered by these texts. Hammered. Do you want me to read a few of these?
Yeah. Anybody say anything good about me?
Yeah, you've been spared. Brett from Sacramento said you should rename the show Poor Drama. Fan number 27 says sometimes you have to fall asleep with your pants down and trust that your roommate isn't going to poke you in the hiney. Casey Fallon says, dude, I didn't even take the money you offered me. I told you to use it for the show. I'm here to help the poor show. Yeah. Then we have Trevor saying, no, somebody else who I don't know says, you are an idiot. Trevor is saying, don't forget Big Dave and the Barrel. Yeah, here's another story. Do you remember Big Dave from K-Rock? Anybody?
I've seen his picture.
Right. He was my intern at K-Rock. Then he was my producer at Groove Radio, and I sort of helped his career along. So when I first went, and Fred, our owner, knows this, when I first went to New York to do our syndicated radio venture that probably I was more responsible than anybody for tanking. We came up with this idea of me walking around New York in a barrel, just wearing a barrel and no clothes. And
I saw the barrel in your apartment. Yeah,
it got so much publicity because it happened during Occupy Wall Street. So anyway, I'm in the barrel. I'm thinking this barrel is a great gimmick. The next thing you know, Big Dave, who's helping me out with the show, and I think he actually located the barrel. He goes, hey, guy, I'm in San Francisco. I'm going to wear a barrel there, too. And I thought, well, dude, at least let me become famous over this barrel in the first place rather than having a second barrel. And he said, no, guy, I'm going to get a barrel, too. I'm going to order it from the same company, and I'm going to walk around San Francisco in a barrel. And I said, I appreciate it if you don't. And that kind of split us apart. I know that sounds completely stupid, paranoid, whatever, but it's just
that's different though. Well, man, I got your back, so please.
I listen. I know, and I listen. I apologize for getting mad over the whole thing, and listen. I called my dad afterwards, and my dad said,
yes.
I'm on the Obamacare, which I hate to admit, but can't afford health insurance.
It's okay. I am too. So.
Are you also?
So am I.
Yeah, but you know what? They're taking care of me. They're taking care of me.
Okay.
So that's
you know what
good.
my dad told me, who you met on the show the other day?
What?
I think Obamacare covers psychiatric health, Jim.
He just texted you that.
So maybe you should check into that.
I talked to him. I said, I had a big fight with my producer today, and and my dad goes, Jim, you've got to get over your things and move on. And I said, and he goes, Obamacare, I think, covers psychiatric help. You really ought to look into that because I think a psychiatrist would help. And here's the problem with that analogy. And this is for anybody who loses I'm not the only person who lives with the memory. My dad said he lives with the memories of World War II. He was like 18 years old and was fighting in the Philippine jungles.
Wow.
That's the memories he lives with, he told me.
Wow.
Which he never has ever talked about. But, okay, so let's say you go to a psychiatrist. I went to one once over the same issue like 5 years ago, and and she goes, it was a woman. Sorry, I'm using a man's voice. She goes, you really have to realize you may never get your career back. And that's something, if you need to come to grips with that. And I'm going to a psychiatrist to have them tell me I may be a loser forever. Thanks. And she put me on Zoloft. Do you guys know what Zoloft is?
Oh, that's pretty powerful, man. That's way more than I'm taking.
And
okay,
what did it do?
Okay, so I was doing this show called the Love Chat. This was an online show where we had YouTube superstars on, and we were doing pretty well. So isn't Zoloft supposed to make you mellow and control your emotions?
I think so.
Yes.
And it's supposedly very successful?
Yeah.
Okay. The entire crew, I got in a fight with my producer, similar to this. The entire crew walked out of the show while I was on Zoloft, right in the middle of this online show where we had 10,000 people listening. They all walked off and never to return. And this happened when I was on the mind drug.
So what did you do?
I immediately left the psychiatrist and stopped taking the mind drug. I mean, it didn't work.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah.
Maybe it wasn't a large enough dose.
No. I you know what? Some of those drugs just react differently. I had a friend who was on. It might have been the same thing, and he was hallucinating. He's all, man. He went to a doctor for depression, and they gave him some drug, and then he started hallucinating. And
Didn't Dr. Drew prescribe a bunch of those drugs to some of his celebrity rehab patients who ended up killing themselves down the line?
Sometimes that happens. Sometimes
I swear by venlafaxine. Write it down.
Oh man, today is not going to help my PR at all.
Hey, I think we should take a break, and we have
All
Todd
right.
on the line, and we also have Fred Plimley on the line
Fred
too.
Plimley is on again, ready to shill himself, right, Todd? All right, Pat, you're the greatest, man.
All right, love you, baby.
Love you too. Just don't ever do my show, okay?
All right.
Nobody do it. Fred Lundgren can do it. In fact, Fred, I'll be in Houston next week, and you will be doing it. Injured at your job? Abused by your boss? Fired? My radio show sponsor, workers' comp attorney Scott Schwartz, will help at no cost. Go to his website, SoCalWorkComp.com, or give him a call, 818-350-2658. He doesn't charge you anything unless he makes a recovery.
Enjoy and sell the world's most perfect coffee. Javita invites you to sit down and enjoy a cup of their coffee with your family, friends, coworkers, and business contacts, and then share the Javita opportunity. Help spread the word about coffee that boosts your metabolism to speed up the body's fat-burning processes while helping you to maintain better focus. It's delicious and could earn you a steady income at the same time. Javita offers you a chance to make social marketing work for you. You'll be paid to drink and share coffee. How great is that? Call 626-975-0944. That's 626-975-0944. Or go to javita.com/coffee, the number 4, life 315. Javita Coffee.
Too many men are wimps.
Linda Gross loves men. Bet that got your attention. Linda is a men's advocate who has helped many men get their balls back. And she can help you. Her proven coaching techniques will skyrocket your confidence and boost you into action in 4 sessions or less. Stop being stupid with girls, in business, or dump a lifelong problem. Go to themensadvocate.com or email Linda info@themensadvocate.com. Mention the Poor Man Show and get 15 minutes free. Also, pick up Linda's book, Mastering Women, on Amazon. Get the straight talk from the woman who knows. Tired of spending too much money on an ad and then trying to find your ad in the newspaper, buried among hundreds, even thousands of other ads? Isn't it time you got a great deal when you were trying to sell that car, that dining room set, that refrigerator, or offering your handyman services? Now you can in the Nickel Shopper. For as little as $7.50 per week, your ad can be seen by thousands of eyeballs in the high desert, and they're getting the Nickel Shopper for free. Call today to place your ad in the Nickel Shopper, 760-646-3654, or go to thenickelshopper.com for all the details, 760-646-3654. The Nickel Shopper, coming soon to the IE. The bumper music you're listening to right now is provided by the 4019s. Go to their website, the4019s.com.
Okay, we are back here. We're discussing Letterman leaving late night tonight, and it's gotten into all kinds of topics about the entertainment business. I feel anybody will screw over anybody for their gig and money. Di told me about a situation where she got screwed out of it. The difference is I haven't gotten over it. I just got texted. You guys can text me. I'll try to read as many as I can. They're flying in here at 949-870-6811. 949-870-6155. That's my personal cell phone, by the way. 949-870-6155.
Do you think Drew Pinsky gives out his personal cell phone number? Do you think
No,
he
of
does
course
that?
he doesn't.
See, poor man, that's your appeal. You are real. You're like, hey, friends, call me. That is your appeal. And you need to know that people like you because of who you are. And you need to quit being insecure about it.
I appreciate that, but you as with everybody deals with their own demons. Believe me, I'm not the only one. This text is interesting. It says, I don't even know who this guy is. My company deals with the entertainment industry, and it's a dog-eat-dog world. Business, family, and friends do not mix. Watch your back because there are opportunists out there. Rock on, poor man. See, if you haven't been in the entertainment industry, then you get talked to like Mike from Menifee. And Mike, I love you. You know that. Stop with the self-pity. The only one stopping you from being happy is you. Thou must seek peace from within. Have you thought about joining a Zen monastery? Let's see. Somebody else goes, I would say that psychiatrist hit one out of the park with you. Dr. Daniels here would even concur.
Dr. Daniels.
This is the guy who said you're an idiot. I don't even know who Dr. Daniels is.
That's not Vince.
Oh, Vince Daniels.
Yeah.
Vince, it was you who started. Vince is like,
well, he doesn't even think we should be doing a show.
He thinks Letterman is still great. Letterman hasn't been great for years, Vince. I mean, he's honestly, what happens with him, the same thing happened with Rick Dees, who I worked with till the very end. These guys have done it so long that they have no more energy. You know, Letterman he even admitted he dials it in. I mean, that's why Dees lost his gig to C-Crap. I was on Dees' show until the very end in 2004, and then C-Crap took over because he hosted American Idol. And then the same is with Letterman. I mean, it's funny, there's some entertainers who can go on beyond their 60s into their 70s. Like I look at Regis Philbin, how long he was on top.
And I'm not really sure exactly what his appeal was. I mean, do you get that?
I think it was his joie de vivre. He just seemed to be bubbly and energetic, and then he got Millionaire, which was really a great career move.
Yeah.
And he started the live show, which I was on one time, and that was that morning talk show, and I think he was like the first one, and when I was on, they shaved my head bald on there. It was crazy. I lost a bet, and I had really long hair, and so I got shaved bald on there. And Kathy Lee was on there, but then that show caught on. So he didn't make it in the late night field, but I guess maybe that fueled him to go onward. So he worked well into his late 70s.
Yeah.
And same with Larry King, right? Larry King, I thought was brilliant until he got taken off. But I think Letterman hasn't been good since, I mean, the only reason I've watched the last few days is he's going off the air. That's the other thing. Di, have you ever noticed, and I mentioned this before on the show, when people are done with their careers and it's the last day and we know it's the last day, that's the one day we all watch. Or the first day, right? The first day and the last day.
Yeah.
unless it's a hit.
Well, tell everyone this is your last show.
Yeah, maybe it is. So who do we have on the line?
Okay, this is Todd. Hey, Todd.
Hello.
Todd.
I have two things to say. First of all, the Zoloft, I'm not surprised it didn't work because that is for clinical depression where you're having chemical issues causing you to be depressed. Yours is situational depression where you're depressed over a traumatic event that happened in your life, and that's not chemical, that's mental. That is very, very hard to fix. You can't really do that with medication very well. So that's the psychiatrist is incorrect, but a lot of them just like to throw drugs at people and hope it works. So
yeah, it's a moneymaker.
And I think you might have actually seen that Love Chat show because you used to come in and do shifts.
I did. In fact, I got to know those people that got involved with them. Still friendly with some of them. Anyway, the other thing I want to say is about what's going on here. I don't believe it. I'm going to call hoax again, or at least partial hoax, because I don't think you were really worried that Pat's going to take this show, because there's one thing you have here that nobody else has on KCAA, except maybe Roseanne, if she's still there, and that is name recognition. So no matter how good Pat would sound here, he's not going to get all these sponsors that you do, because people sign up for this show to be sponsors because you're the poor man who people remember, and they believe the show can become big because you already have that to build from. Pat Matthews does not have that, nor does anyone else on the station. So you know that. You know that's the reason Fred gave you the sweetheart deal here that you have. And you know Pat doesn't have that. You know you cannot be replaced by someone like Pat, no matter how good he may or may not sound on the air. I've never heard him, so I don't know. But that's the reason I don't believe this is real, is that the concern you're expressing doesn't make any sense.
Honestly, Todd, it is really real. I mean, that's amazing you think that, but in this case, it honestly is real.
I believe that he suggested that he come on today when you may not.
No, he didn't. Honestly, ask Di. I mean, of course, you'll think Di's lying too. It is as real as can be.
It's real, Todd.
What I'm saying is I believe that there was some discussion about whether you would want him hosting this if you couldn't make it. But I think that's more of just kind of a control thing, like you just don't want someone else hosting your own show.
No, I got in a big argument with him over it. I really did.
It just seems to line up too perfectly with the Letterman thing that this is his last day and he had a similar thing.
Todd, I swear to you, it's coincidental, the whole thing. And I would never have even brought it up on the air except when I told Trevor, if you're listening, call in. Trevor goes, oh, you need to talk about this. And then Trevor suggested how Leno screwed over Letterman. And then he also told me to mention Big Dave in the Barrel. So Trevor kind of gave me the idea. And I was so mad about it. I thought, you know what? This is what I'm going to talk about today.
Well, I agree with you about Big Dave. That one, you were in the right for sure. By the way, the Clippers, I don't know if you saw this. I agreed with you that the Clippers were going to choke in Game 7 after what happened.
I heard you made a bet and won some money.
Yeah, I bet $1,200 to win $1,000 and did win. And I almost got talked out of the bet. I actually bet at halftime. I was going to bet on the whole game, and poker friends of mine told me I was stupid and the Clippers were going to win, and they actually scared me for placing this bet. And then I thought, you know what? The poor man agrees with me. I'm going to bet at halftime, and I did, and I won.
Case, yeah, and congrats on that. No, I knew the Clippers were going to lose. I had Clippers season tickets, and when it comes to sports, I usually know. But Casey says, don't tell Todd the sky is blue. He will argue with you about it and will swear you are wrong. How much longer do we have to listen to this idiot?
Is he saying that or somebody else?
Somebody else says that. The Mad Texter says, how long do we have to listen to this idiot, meaning you, Todd?
Like me too much. Maybe one day the Mad Texter will come forward and be himself and be a man and stand up and say, these are my opinions. I'm not going to hide behind text messages.
You know, I think I know who the Mad Texter is now.
Kind of like Radio Hindenburg?
Fan number 27 said it might be time to bring in the cake with Dr. Drew in it. Oh, that's funny. Well, thanks for the call, Todd.
All right.
Okay. Anybody else wants to go on the... Hello? Who was that? Was that anybody, Di?
Hey, well, let's go to Fred right now. Let's go to Fred. Hang on.
Fred Plimley. Oh, we should have put him on with Todd.
Yeah, I'm out here in Palm Springs, and Todd has given me the challenge to call in and not promote, so I'm going to do that. I think you've got a good show. I do like the topic, and just booming in the Palm Springs area.
What point did you want to make, Fred?
You know, like what you say about entertainment is relevant, and I was listening to you. I was out working in Palm Springs today, and the station was booming in. It sounds good.
Good. I'm glad. Awesome.
I just thought that I would, take the challenge, and even though Todd, I guess, is a self-appointed critique who thinks he knows a lot. I could call in and just tell you, you're a good friend. You got a good show.
Well, what do you feel about the whole Letterman thing? I just feel Dave has lost it, honestly. But I don't like any of the late night talk show hosts. I think they're all doing the same format that was started by Steve Allen in the 40s, and nobody cares anymore. I mean, Jimmy Fallon, he's so funny, he's great. He's doing the same thing. He's sitting at the table interviewing guests and doing some comedy bits. I mean, same with Kimmel. Kimmel is just like television Velveeta, in my opinion. Colbert. Ugh.
Have you ever watched Colbert?
Well, I tend to like Letterman, okay, but I think it's hard for people to be as good as Johnny Carson.
Right,
True story.
People had never heard it. Go ahead, Di. I'm sorry.
No, true, Johnny Carson. But I do love Stephen Colbert. Have you ever watched the Colbert Report?
No, because I think the guy is just a goober.
You have to watch it. You can't just judge him without watching the show. It's freaking hilarious.
You know, they should have had me take over that late night slot. At least, even if I bombed, which I wouldn't. I mean, why don't they put some guy who's like a real guy on there? I mean, Colbert to me is just like shtick.
You know.
Listen, people, obviously they like him or they wouldn't put him on.
Well, that's true.
But do you really think he's going to go on there and people are going to forget Fallon and Kimmel and they're going to just go, hey, it's Colbert? I think he's just, and then you got Conan. Who else does a late night show? Those four.
Yeah.
Fred, do you know any other late night shows that are
Well,
out there?
like I said, I'm not really. I think that what's happening is a lot of people are watching other venues. It's not just broadcast TV. They're watching Netflix. They're watching a lot of internet.
Yeah, there's a lot of TV.
Yeah, I
There's
guess
a lot
you know
of
what,
things to
Chelsea
choose from.
Handler now. Now I thought I watched a little bit of Chelsea lately when she was on E. Did any of you guys watch that at all?
No.
It was okay.
Yeah.
I used to think she was cute, and then she got uglier and uglier as time went on. But
Hey,
but she's now doing a talk show on Netflix, or trying to. So the late night thing, but it's like late night show on demand kind of deal. So she got offered a ton of money to leave E and go to Netflix, and it's hard really to say what's going to happen with her.
Hey, we have one more commercial break and we're almost out of time, and Trevor is on the line too.
All right, let's take Fallon is better for the younger crowd. I don't think so. Do you know what the average age of Fallon is watching? It's like 50. There is no younger crowd watching late night television. Okay, we'll be right back to finish up this show. I apologize to everybody for getting too melodramatic, and I love you all.
The music of Casey Fallon. His second album, Atmospheric Disturbances. The powerful melodic energy that is Casey Fallon. On the college radio charts for months, Atmospheric Disturbances. Discover Casey Fallon. Buy the CD at Target stores and online at Amazon.com. Downloads available in the iTunes Store. Get more info at CaseyFallon.com. All legal cases are different. Hiring the right lawyer can make all the difference in the outcome of your case. Whether it's a DUI, divorce, or family law, the law firm of Hanson, Gorian, Bradford & Hanich has the solution. From misdemeanor to felony offenses, Hanson, Gorian, Bradford & Hanich have more than 50 years of collective legal experience to win for you. Call right now to schedule a free no-obligation case consultation today. 951-687-6003, 951-687-6003, or see for yourself at hgblawyers.com. Do it now. Hey everybody, Pat Matthews here. When I'm not doing the production of the new Poor Man Show here on KCAA 1050 AM, I'm programming my internet radio station, Beatles-orama. It's been my pleasure to keep the spirit of the Beatles alive for the past 13 plus years, hosting my morning show Monday through Friday and running the greatest tribute station on the web. So if you've never heard us, go to Beatlesorama.com and click on the Player Start button. And if you're already a listener, all of us here at Beatles-orama, thank you. Enjoy and sell the world's most perfect coffee. Javita invites you to sit down and enjoy a cup of their coffee with your family, friends, coworkers, and business contacts, and then share the Javita opportunity. Help spread the word about coffee that boosts your metabolism to speed up the body's fat-burning processes while helping you to maintain better focus. It's delicious and could earn you a steady income at the same time. Javita offers you a chance to make social marketing work for you. You'll be paid to drink and share coffee. How great is that? Call 626-975-0944. That's 626-975-0944. Or go to javita.com/coffee, the number 4, life 315. Javita Coffee. Bumpers on the Poor Man Show are provided by Casey Fallon Music. Go to CaseyFallon.com.
Casey, you know I love you, man. I love your music, and you're going to hit it big and remember me. And Trevor the Drunk is on here. You prompted this whole show, but we only have 15 seconds for you to give an answer before the show's over. Go, Trevor.
It's my fault. I drew the parallel. Poor man, what you're saying is all true, and there's no phony snips going on here.
And tell Todd this is not made up.
Todd, it's not made up. And I say if you do get a co-host or like another host like to fill in for you, it should be Charles Grodin.
I think it should be you.
Well,
All right.
I would do it, but okay.
All right. Okay, that's it for
goodbye.
the show. On to the next show. See you tomorrow.
All right.
Bye-bye, guys.
You're on board KCAA's Inland Talk Express. KCAA, Loma Linda, 1050 AM, the station that leaves no listener behind.
I'm Tom Busby, CNBC Radio. If you thought the big banks are rigging the system, it looks like you were right. Four of the world's biggest banks, J.P. Morgan Chase, Citigroup, Barclays, and Royal Bank of Scotland, will pay $6 billion in fines and have pleaded guilty already to manipulating global currency markets as far back as 2007. A fifth bank, Switzerland-based UBS, has pleaded guilty to fixing key interest rates. With minutes from the Fed's latest policy meeting showing it's unlikely the bank will hike benchmark rates at its meeting in June, stocks turned around some early losses, and right now they're higher. The Dow up 9 points, on track for another record high close. The Nasdaq is up 18. U.S. stockpiles of crude declining last week. Haven't seen that in a while, by nearly 3 million barrels. So oil closed about $1 a barrel higher, still under $59 though. That is sending energy company stocks higher, but all the major airlines sharply lower this afternoon. I'm Tom Busby, CNBC.
Have you had trouble with online dating? This is eHarmony founder Dr. Neil Clark Warren. We've created a new solution, EH+. EH Plus combines the personal attention of a matchmaker with eHarmony's extensive pool of great singles. EH Plus gives you hand-selected matches and freedom from being online. Get started today. Call 855-930-LOVE. That's 855-930-LOVE.
With kcaa-, paperless e-signing is a no-brainer for any business that requires legally binding signatures fast. That's because kcaa offers everything you should expect from an electronic signature solution for just $1 per month. kcaa cuts document turnaround time as much as 90%, thanks in part to its #1 rated mobile app. And kcaa's secure cloud stores documents for on-demand tracking and retrieval, saving you even more time and money. Don't think twice. Get kcaa now for just $1 per month. Go to kcaa.com.
It's Mike Manahan, host of Biz Rap Radio, the show all about small business and entrepreneurs. Join me every Friday at 3 p.m. right here on KCAA Radio.
Inland Empire weather looks like this. Some cloudiness going on, at least till Friday when we have a chance of showers. Partly cloudy sky tomorrow as well. Today's high 74, tomorrow's high 69. Overnight, tonight, 55. Currently, we are at 72 degrees. Looking at your drive, you got stop-and-go traffic on the 60 eastbound between Valley Way and Rubidoux Boulevard. In Fontana, you have an accident which is blocking 3 lanes. That is on the eastbound 10 freeway just before Cherry Avenue. And I can't get you any more details on that. That is all that we have right now. That is the very latest with weather and traffic on the station that leaves no listener behind. Stay tuned for What's It All About with Dr. Jolly.
Don't miss the fun on Getaway Friday starting at 2 p.m. with the Poor Man. Next, it's Let's Go Shopping with Bev, Jason Stapleton, The Happy Hour with Ben and Alexander, and Langdon Nation. KCAA 1050 AM, where Fridays are great days.
Nevada to do my show. I wasn't able to get to the studio. I'm at a meeting, a full day, actually 2-day meeting, and so I'm stealing an hour away to get with everybody and introduce a wonderful guest that we have today with us who is very impressive, and I'm very impressed